All eyes on the Indy sports scene turn to Westfield as the Indianapolis Colts open up tomorrow. On tonight's UnPHILtered, my conversation with Derek Schultz, co-host of Query and Schultz, about what we can expect from Grand Park. Derek, always good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Your thoughts on today? A big day here in Central Indiana for Colts fans.
Yeah, absolutely a big day, just because it's important for this team to turn the page and for fans to look forward to something that's new, because the last memory that we had of this Colts team was in the second week of January, their entire season essentially falling apart in a disastrous afternoon in Jacksonville, and nobody wants to harp on that memory. So there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of optimism. I think you could say that about the other 31 NFL teams too, but the first day of camp is always just a nice, fresh, sort of a first day of school type feeling, I think.
Biggest storylines in your opinion so far?
I think the biggest one, besides Darius Leonard changing his name, or at least going by the name that he's been called by friends and family for all these years that we didn't know about, Shaquille, is also his injury situation and how that's going to hold up with his ankle and some of the other nagging injuries that he's had throughout his career. He's played through it and played at a really high level, but I think that's something to focus on. Also, it was great to see Kenny Moore out there. We knew he was going to report, but his contract situation with the team is not in good shape right now. He's got 2 years left on his deal. He wants to rework it. The team is obviously hesitant to do that with 2 years left. So I think that's something else to keep an eye on as well here in the next couple of weeks in Westfield.
Does it get done, in your opinion, then?
I think that they're going to try to find some sort of a common ground here. I would be surprised if they just rip it up and start it over. The Colts put themselves out there with the initial contract a couple of years ago to reward him, and the market has since changed. I think he's now something like the 27th highest paid corner, when Kenny Moore obviously is better than the 27th best cornerback in the NFL. But with 2 years left on his deal, I think the Colts and all these looming extensions coming up, I think the Colts are going to be real hesitant to start fresh there. Looking
around the league, what has stuck out to you?
Oh, what's really stuck out to me is just, and we've talked about this in other sports as well, kind of the return to normalcy here. Remember last year right now, there was a lot of talk about who is vaccinated, who's not vaccinated, what the NFL protocols were going to be for media and all of that. And now this feels like the first real normal training camp, Phil, that we've had since 2019 and about to be maybe the first normal NFL season that we've had since 2019. So even more so than some of the names and faces changing and the pieces moving around, I think really to me, that's been the biggest change for 2022 compared to what we've been through each of the last two seasons.
You've been listening to the Andrew Luck podcast, Zach Kiefer's
I did. I'm a big, as much as I am an Andrew Luck fan, I'm a big Zach Kiefer fan. I thought he did a great job with that. It's weird to think that we're coming up on 3 years. We're about a month away from the 3-year anniversary of that and everything that's happened to the franchise since. But again, kind of going back to the beginning of our conversation, Phil, I think that's why days like today are important, to start fresh, to start new, to turn the page. And we'll see if finally the results can help fans turn the page on the Andrew Luck era, because this team needs to get back to the playoffs and win a playoff game and win the division for the first time since 2014, I think, before everyone can fully kind of move on.
Fingers crossed. And now Andrew Luck is out there throwing the football with some kids from Brownsburg every now and then, which was nice to see as well. See him around town. Derek, always good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Phil. I'd say good luck to your Mets, but I wouldn't mean it. But I do appreciate you having me on.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that from the Yankees fan. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Take care.